Chapter 1871. After being explained by Gideon, the other party glanced at the car and then got in and left. Gideon came back and said, "You can go now." Regan breathed a sigh of relief, nodded, got out of the car, and went back to his own car. He looked at the military, the gate of the district, sighed, and then got into the car. He thought he would see his big brother. As a result, he almost got taken away. Gideon sat in the car and waited for Regan to drive away before letting the driver go back to the Hoffman residence. Deputy Chen received a call from the police station, knowing that Mr. Gideon had sent them away, so he had no objections. As long as Regan didn't linger at the gate anymore, they couldn't do anything about it. Mr. Hoffman has been busy all the time. It was past 4 o'clock when Deputy Chen brought in a bowl of pasta. "Commander, have something to eat before you get busy." Deputy Chen placed the pasta on the coffee table, with a fork on top of it. Jeremiah glanced at him and said, "I'm not hungry." Deputy Chen looked at the busy Jeremiah and persuaded him, "If you don't eat, Mr. Gideon will come after me." Jeremiah frowned and walked over. "Busybody." Deputy Chen chuckled, saw him start eating the pasta, and felt relieved. "Have you decided on the list of assistants?" Jeremiah asked as he ate the pasta. "Ready." Deputy Chen nodded and said to him, "Yazi Gomez and Elmer Ferranda, the two of them, Commander, help me with the staff." Jeremiah also knew these two people, one had good combat abilities, and the other was good at communication. Let them work together for a period of assessment, and whoever is more suitable will continue to be used. "Yes." Deputy Chen saluted. "Commander, take your time eating, I'm going out." "Okay," Jeremiah replied and continued to eat pasta. On the Delmore side, Orissa brought some snacks to the hospital. One for Darius, one for Kingsley and Sean. While taking the elevator, she suddenly bumped into Zyla. Things fell to the ground. Sorry. Zyla apologized hurriedly and bent down to help pick up the things. "It's okay." Orissa wanted to bend down to pick them up, but Zyla stopped her. "You stay there, I'll help you pick them up." "I'm really sorry, are you okay?" Zyla was afraid that she had hurt Orissa, who was pregnant. "It's okay, just a little bump, it's my fault for not paying attention." Seeing the other party's good attitude, Orissa didn't mind at all. "It's really okay, I feel relieved now." Zyla handed her the things. "Visiting a patient?" "Yes, a friend is hospitalized." Orissa smiled and replied. Zyla nodded and pointed outside, "Then I'll go first, bye." "Bye." Orissa watched Zyla leave and felt a sense of familiarity. She smiled and then went into the elevator to find Kingsley. 12 and the others were also waiting at the door. She smiled and greeted the few people as she passed by. "Do you want to come in and have something to eat? I made it." "Want to eat with Kingsley?" 12's eyes lit up, but they still declined. "Thank you, Orissa, we're not hungry." 12 replied softly. Orissa looked at them. "You don't have to be so cautious, find a chair and sit down." Benjamin just asked them to take care of Kingsley, being so vigilant was tiring. "Okay." 12 agreed, but the habit of maintaining constant training over the years meant they didn't really sit down. Orissa entered the ward, where Kingsley was playing a game. "Feeling better today, Orissa? Did you bring me something good to eat?" Seeing her carrying a lot of food, Kingsley's eyes lit up. "Just some snacks." Orissa put down 2 boxes, opened the lids, and looked inside. "This box, you can eat with Sean, where is he?" "He's busy." Kingsley couldn't resist the temptation and started eating. Crumb falling as he ate. Chapter 1872. Orissa chuckled. "Be careful, use a tissue to cushion it." She walked over to get a tissue for Kingsley, just now downstairs. It was knocked over by someone, it might be broken. She took another box out to 12 and then came back in. "Orissa, are you okay? Didn't you bring any bodyguards?" Kingsley stared at her with wide eyes. "Orissa is a high-priority protection target now. I'm fine, just a light bump. I did bring bodyguards, they are at the door, I didn't let them come in." Just coming to visit someone in the hospital, why bring bodyguards? It's their own hospital, so she feels more at ease. If Benjamin knew, he would worry about you. you should bring a few people with you. Kingsley reminded her. Okay, I'll pay attention next time. Orissa sat on the side. How do you feel? Much better. After the injection this afternoon, I took a nap and felt much more comfortable. Kingsley chatted with her. Orissa chuckled softly. Why did you get the injection so late today? Isn't it usually in the morning? In the morning, I accompanied old Mr. Graham for a checkup. I didn't get the IV until almost noon. Kingsley stuffed his mouth full and almost choked. You're not feeling well yourself and you still went to accompany them for a checkup. You're working hard. Orissa quickly poured him a glass of water. Eat slowly. If you like it, I'll bring you more tomorrow. Hee, delicious. Kingsley nodded, thinking that he could be discharged tomorrow, and said to Orissa. It's okay, I'm bored in the ward too. I want to go out for a walk. Orissa, can you ask 12 and the others to bring me in the morning? I can be discharged after I finish my injection tomorrow. Orissa looked at him excitedly. Are you sure you can be discharged tomorrow? Not staying for a few more days. No, there's no freedom here. Kingsley pursed his lips. You can ask 12 and the others to take you downstairs for a walk. You don't have to stay in the ward all the time. Orissa looked at him. Hiding in the ward playing games. It's better to go downstairs and breathe some fresh air. Scared of being seen by acquaintances. Kingsley awkwardly smiled. Orissa shook her head with a smile, seeing him eating snacks one after another, almost finishing a whole box. She reminded him, don't leave a few for Sean. He's not here. I ate them for him. Kingsley smirked. Ate them for me. Sean walked in and quickly came over to eat one, seeing 12 and the others eating at the door. He knew it was brought by Orissa. Orissa, aren't you eating? I brought them for you guys. I had something to eat at home before coming over. Orissa looked at them. They were grabbing one after another. Should have made more. Take your time, I'll go to Dad's place. Do you want me to accompany you? Sean asked. No need, you just arrived, I'll go by myself. Orissa asked him to stay here with Kingsley, and she took another box of snacks and went out. Orissa, why don't you ask 12 and the others to accompany you, so you won't get bumped into again? Kingsley shouted. It's okay, don't worry about me. Orissa couldn't help but laugh. It was just a small accident, why was everyone so nervous? Orissa, do you want us to accompany you to old Mr. Graham's place? 12 asked. Orissa waved her hand. No need, you guys stay here. But 12 insisted and followed her. Orissa glanced at him and chuckled. You guys have been working hard these past few days. It's okay, we have nothing to do at home anyway. It's not hard to come out and accompany Mr. Watts, 12 said with a smile. They took the elevator and went to Darius's place. In the hospital room, Sean looked at Kingsley. You just told Orissa not to let anyone bump into her. What happened? Did someone bump into her? Yes. Orissa said she was bumped into downstairs. That's why these snacks are all crushed, Kingsley replied. Kingsley's eyes flashed, and he said to Sean, why don't you go check the surveillance cameras? Maybe someone intentionally bumped into Orissa. Chapter 1873. Sean nodded. Now Benjamin is dealing with the Lewitt family, so it's better to be careful. I'll go check on her in a bit. Kingsley glanced at him. Can't you go now? Sean looked at him, grabbed a snack, and said, save me a few pieces. Got it. Kingsley replied seriously, and when Sean left, he continued eating. After Sean left and then came back in, Kingsley looked at him in confusion. Aren't you going to check the surveillance cameras? Sean smirked, took out his phone. I can call and have them send it to me, no need to go over there. Going to the surveillance cameras room was quite far, and Sean didn't want to walk over there. Kingsley, what time did Orissa come over? Sean asked while calling the surveillance cameras room. Just a few minutes before you came in. Kingsley grabbed another snack. Orissa's cooking was delicious. Sean sat by the hospital bed and quickly grabbed one too. Send me the surveillance camera footage from the elevator downstairs in the gastroenterology department to my phone, just the segment from 10 minutes ago. Sean put down his phone, continued grabbing snacks, and said, you've eaten quite a bit already, be careful not to overeat and upset your stomach. I haven't eaten that many, Orissa's cooking is delicious. I'm a patient, what's wrong with me eating one more? Kingsley retorted. When he saw Sean's phone light up, he snatched it and opened the surveillance cameras. Sean also leaned over to look. After watching for a while, Orissa's figure appeared, and the next second a woman emerged from the elevator and bumped into her. Orissa dropped everything in her hands, but she just took a step back. When Zyla looked up and spoke to Orissa, her entire face was revealed. Kingsley, Sean, they were acquaintances, but they didn't recognize each other. Kingsley threw the phone back to Sean and continued eating. The image of Zyla looking up flashed through Kingsley's mind. What was she doing here? To see him, but she hadn't visited the hospital room. Was she not here to see him? Kingsley couldn't express what he felt in his heart. Sean took his phone back and put it in his pocket, observing Kingsley. Zyla came to see you. This guy seemed in a good mood, not like he had seen Zyla. No, Kingsley continued eating, suddenly feeling the food wasn't appetizing anymore. I'm full, you eat it. There was only one snack left in the box. Sean's mouth twitched, it was good, and he didn't mind having one less. He took it and finished eating. Why did Zyla come here? She seemed a bit rushed when she came out of the elevator. Sean thought about whether he should call Zyla to ask. Maybe she wasn't feeling well. But if she wasn't feeling well, she shouldn't be in the hospital ward. Was she here to see Kingsley? Kingsley lay down and fell asleep. When he was feeling frustrated and couldn't figure things out, he didn't want to use his brain at all. Seeing him like this, Sean shook his head. She didn't come to disturb you, and you're still angry. Who's angry? Kingsley glared at him, pulled the blanket over his head. Seeing the completely different Zyla from before, Kingsley was very uncomfortable. After a while, he took off the blanket. Staring at Sean, did your cousin get plastic surgery abroad? Girls these days, they would go under the knife just for beauty. Not even afraid of the consequences. Sean looked at him strangely. Whether she had plastic surgery or not has nothing to do with you, right? This cousin isn't worried, but this guy is he not used to it? Love to say or not? Kingsley pulled the blanket irritably. Sean stared at the bulging blanket for a while. Are you attracted to my cousin's current appearance? Zyla now really fits Kingsley's aesthetic. That time at the club, causing a scandal, it wasn't a woman with this kind of figure. You're talking nonsense. Get out, don't bother me here. Kingsley pulled down the blanket and shouted at him. Chapter 1874. Hospitalized. Looking at his anxious expression, Sean couldn't help but chuckle. He's really in a hurry. Kingsley turned over and covered his head again. So annoying. Zyla didn't have plastic surgery, it was my grandpa who said that. My grandpa often video chats with her. After she went abroad, she insisted on exercising and gradually slimmed down. Sean learned about the situation from his dad and mom, and he couldn't help but feel a little sorry for Zyla. Many people can't stick to exercising for weight loss and easily give up halfway. The perseverance required for that, Zyla actually persisted. How much determination does that require? However, they were still happy for Zyla. She looks very healthy now. Kingsley's heart skipped a beat. She didn't have plastic surgery, she exercised. When he saw her yesterday, he did feel a sense of healthy exercise. Seeing that Kingsley was still hiding under the covers, Sean didn't bother him anymore and walked to the side. He sent a text to Zyla, asking her why she came to the hospital. His grandpa and the others are not in the gastroenterology department, so it shouldn't be to see them. Zyla was taken aback when she saw Sean's text. At the moment, she was sitting in the square with a cup of coffee, watching the pigeons. Cousin, how did you know I went to the hospital? Sean, your sister-in-law ran into you. The person you bumped into was your sister-in-law. Oh, so, she's my sister-in-law, is she okay? Zyla didn't expect it to be because of this, thinking that Sean knew, thinking that Orissa was in trouble. If something happened to Orissa, Benjamin would definitely not let her off. Sean, it's nothing, just that Orissa and Kingsley explained that the snacks were broken, and I mentioned that I was checking the surveillance cameras to see who it was, worried that someone deliberately bumped into her. Zyla breathed a sigh of relief, thank goodness nothing happened. It's all my fault for not paying attention. If I had knocked her down, I would have been at fault. Sean smirked. Marissa didn't blame you, so don't worry. Just be more careful when walking in the future. Why did you come to the gastroenterology department? The conversation circled back. Zyla took a sip of her fruit drink, her eyes guilty. I didn't do anything, just a friend is in the hospital, so I went to see them. She wanted to sneak a peek at Kingsley, but there was a bodyguard at the door, so she left. Sean, what friend? Should cousin say hello to someone and take care of them more? Sean already guessed who she came to see. He sighed inwardly. No need, she's quite shy and doesn't like others to know she's in the hospital. Cousin, I'm out shopping, so I won't chat with you anymore, you're busy too. Zyla stared at her phone, hoping he wouldn't ask her anymore. If she had known she wouldn't be able to see him, she wouldn't have gone to the hospital, wasting a trip. She leaned back in the seat in the square, looking at the golden sunset. Sean looked at her reply, shook his head, and didn't ask further. Who are you chatting with, laughing so strangely? Kingsley got up to go to the restroom, giving Sean a glance. Sean looked at him. Can't I chat with someone else? I'm not like you, surrounded by a bunch of women. Ha ha, jealousy, huh, it's because I'm so handsome that girls can't resist. Kingsley indulged in self-admiration, went into the restroom to relieve himself. Sean was speechless. Seeing his mood changing constantly, Sean stopped worrying about him. Kingsley came out of the restroom. Can I be discharged tomorrow? You can. Sean checked his phone and email, as long as you rest well. Kingsley, I actually feel pretty good now. That bit of fake alcohol probably hasn't taken him down yet. Thinking about this, Kingsley became puzzled. Hey, everyone in the same compartment is drinking fake alcohol. Why am I the only one hospitalized? Those people drank more aggressively than me. And nothing happened to them? Sean paused. He hadn't noticed that. Well, you're the only one with alcohol poisoning in our hospital. As for the others, I'll ask around. Chapter 1875. Marissa brought food over to Darius's side, asking Edwin to take Mary back. The two of them had been taking care of old Mr. Graham since morning, which was quite tiring. You come to see me every day. You could have just had Millie bring it over, instead of coming yourself, Darius said, feeling sorry for her. Marissa smiled. I have nothing to do at home, so I came out for a walk. You should go back with them. I'm fine here by myself, Darius said, eating snacks. It was nice to have something to eat at this hour. I'll wait for Zachary and the others to come back. Marissa poured warm water for Darius. Take your time eating. Darius smiled. Are they coming too? Of course, they didn't come in the morning, so they'll definitely come after school to see Grant, right? Marissa replied with a smile, observing Darius's complexion. Darius seemed happy today, chatting with her a lot and even mentioning the situation between Julia and Sean in the gastroenterology department. Marissa listened and couldn't stop smiling. Dad, is it true? Or is it just gossip? She asked. Kingsley has eyes and a nose. How could it be fake? Darius chuckled. If it's true, Sean will be happy. Marissa chuckled. Kingsley sometimes didn't necessarily speak the truth, he might be joking. But if Sean could meet a nice girl, everyone would be happy. If it's true, that's great. They are both doctors, so they would have more in common, Marissa said. Darius nodded with a smile. Yeah, they don't really care about the conditions for girls anymore. As long as they see you and Benjamin have had several children, they are just happy as long as the girl can have babies. Marissa smiled. Their relationship really stimulated everyone. They all envy me. Darius was delighted. If it weren't for his poor health, he would have taken the grandchildren out to have a blast. As Marissa chatted with him, her phone rang. Where are you? Benjamin's voice came through, and Marissa smiled. I'm with Dad, what's up? It's nothing, I just wanted to check so you don't go to the school again. I'll pick them up from school and then we'll go to the hospital. Benjamin told her. Okay, I'll wait for you. Marissa replied. Darius's eyes lit up as he looked at her. Is it Benjamin? Orissa nodded, hearing Benjamin's voice in her ear. Honey, see you later. See you later. She hung up the phone and told Darius, he's going to pick up the kids, afraid that I'll go again. Darius smiled, I's okay if you go, you can pick up the children together. He told me not to come over when he came home for lunch, so I took a nap and came straight here. Orissa chatted with Darius about daily life, keeping him company. Well, you did all this, right? You didn't sleep much at noon, did you? Darius could still taste the flavors. It's not a big deal to do this. I woke up before I slept and made the pasta, then I got up and prepared the almonds, cooked them, and that's it. Darius smiled, feeling deeply content. She made everything he loved to eat. At noon, I asked Edwin and Mary to go back, but they insisted on staying here to help. Millie also helped at home, so I'm not doing this alone, Orissa said as she prepared the filling with their assistance. All these fillings were prepared by them, Darius said with a smile, taking another bite. Dad, how about we don't eat now? We'll finish the pasta in an hour or two, and we can have a few bites when we get hungry later in the evening, Orissa suggested. Sure, let's set it aside for now. I don't want to spoil my appetite, Darius agreed, closing the lid on the container. Orissa quickly moved it aside and encouraged him to drink more hot water. Do you want to have a few? Darius asked with a smile. I'm not hungry, Orissa replied, sitting down and peeling an apple for Darius. Chapter 1876. Benjamin picked up the children and went to the hospital. As soon as Jasper got out of the car, they wanted to go to Kingsley's side. Mr. Graham, hurry up and take us to see Mr. Watts. The 6 children looked at him eagerly. Benjamin rarely felt their enthusiasm. He smiled. Mr. Watts is in the gastroenterology department, in building 3 over there. I'll take you there, your mom is with Grandpa. After we see Mr. Watts, we'll go find Mom. The 6 kids couldn't wait. They could accompany Mom when she got home, but they hadn't seen Mr. Watts in the hospital yet. They were supposed to come in the morning, but Daddy didn't allow it. He insisted on taking them to the school. Slow down. Benjamin followed closely behind them as the kids found Building 3 and ran towards it. Mr. Graham, hurry up, you can't keep up with my brothers. Jesse was held by Benjamin and became anxious when he saw Jasper and the others running ahead. Benjamin took long strides and caught up. They are waiting for us at the elevator, they don't know which floor. The children didn't know which floor, so they had to wait for him. Jess's eyes lit up. Right. Benjamin followed closely behind the children, keeping them in his sight. With one big step, he caught up with the kids who were a few steps ahead. The kids ran to the elevator, panting. Which floor? The 5 brothers looked at each other, none of them knew. Maybe we should wait for Daddy. Gavin wiped the sweat off his forehead, suddenly feeling like their rush over here was pointless. Timothy chuckled, we should have taken our time coming over. Oliver, Zachary, and Jasper also chuckled, realizing their mistake. Jasper shouted to Benjamin, Mr. Graham, hurry up. What's the rush? Benjamin strode over, and the kids pressed the elevator button. It was almost time to go home. The elevator was taking a while. When the doors finally opened, a group of people poured out. Benjamin gestured for the children to stand aside and wait. Hello, Mr. Graham. Hello, Mr. Graham. The head doctor at the hospital recognized Benjamin and greeted him as he led the 6 kids, all of whom caught the doctor's eye and were adored. Their antics caused people to turn and look back at them as they walked, and someone almost tripped. Get in, Benjamin reminded the children. If they didn't get in soon, no one would be able to go home in peace. Gavin smiled and ushered Zachary into the elevator, pressing the button to open the doors. Once Benjamin entered with Jesse in his arms, the elevator doors closed. Julia arrived for work and saw the elevator doors about to close, but then they opened again. She was stunned to see a group of 6, 1 adult and 5 children, in a cute scene. Benjamin, with his CEO demeanor, holding a child, was too adorable. Miss, if you don't get in, we're closing the elevator. Jasper reminded her. Oh, thank you. Julia hurried in, unable to help but glance at the several kids. They are twins. Miss, which floor are you on? Gavin also looked at Julia and asked. 17th floor. Julia replied with a smile. So cute. Benjamin raised an eyebrow. Daddy, which floor are we going to? Gavin asked Benjamin, looking up at him. 17th. Benjamin looked down at Gavin. Gavin was surprised. Timothy and the others were also surprised, looking at Julia. What a coincidence. Are you here to visit a patient? Julia didn't expect them to be going to her department, so she asked. At this time, bringing children over, could it be that a relative is in their department? Chapter 1877. We're here to visit Mr. Watts. Zachary smiled at her, perhaps feeling that Julia gave off a friendly vibe, and the kids were willing to chat with her. Miss, are you here to see patients too? No, I'm here to work. Julia smiled at the cute kids. Miss, are you a doctor or a nurse? Jessie was curious. Julia smiled. I'm a doctor, a junior doctor. Benjamin glanced at her. A junior doctor. Miss, hello, Mr. Watts is also on the 17th floor, do you know him? His name is Kingsley. Oliver pushed his glasses up and struck up a conversation with Julia. With that, when old Mr. Graham was hospitalized, there was someone taking care of him seriously. Ah, I know him, he was just admitted yesterday. Julia was surprised, she didn't expect them to be here to see Kingsley. Miss, Mr. Watts is all alone in the hospital, so you must take good care of him. Zachary smiled and said, of course. Julia felt a bit awkward, they didn't really need to take care of him, as Deputy Bailey was personally accompanying him. On the 17th floor, Benjamin carried Jessie and walked out. Julia asked them to leave before following them out. Goodbye. Julia waved to the cute little ones and quickly ran to the dressing room to change clothes. Hee hee. Gavin, Timothy, Zachary, Oliver, and Jasper followed Benjamin to Kingsley's ward. Julia, wasn't that Mr. Graham, Mr. Watts' friend? How come you came up with them? Mr. Graham is so handsome. A colleague couldn't help but gossip. I was afraid of being late, so I ran to the elevator over there. Those little cuties are so adorable. Julia shared with her colleague. The colleague was also interested. I think so too, I'll go check on the patients later. Yeah, Julia continued to put on her white coat. Some people are just different. Today, they're either flirting with Deputy Bailey or Mr. Graham. They don't even think about the fact that Mr. Graham is married with children. Shameless. A woman who didn't get along with Julia sarcastically remarked as she was about to leave work. Julia glared at her. What are you glaring at? If you can flirt with Deputy Bailey, why can't people talk about it? The woman provocatively looked at her, with a disdainful look. Watch your mouth. Julia's face turned red with anger. Dare to say you didn't. We all heard it, didn't we? The woman was very arrogant, calling out to the other sisters. The others glanced at Julia, but didn't dare to say anything. If they really were with Deputy Bailey and offended Julia, they wouldn't be able to work here anymore. They were not like Yummy Lucas, who was a hospital executive. These girls nowadays just want to climb the social ladder, aiming for the sky in one step, without even looking at themselves. Yummy, you. The colleague who gossiped with Julia quickly pulled her back, signaling her not to act impulsively. Julia glared at Yummy and walked out of the dressing room. Behind her came mocking laughter. Just look at her, Deputy Bailey doesn't even like her. Maybe she hooked up with him herself, an intern doctor, Deputy Bailey wouldn't be interested. Julia didn't understand why everyone was saying these things about her, feeling very uncomfortable. Just yesterday night, Deputy Bailey went to the doctor's office for a late-night snack, that's all. Other times, she was just like everyone else. She rarely had any contact with Deputy Bailey. At most, they exchanged a few words in the elevator, and it wasn't intentional on her part. Could it be that someone took a photo and spread it around the department? In the morning, it was time for a meeting, and after the meeting, the department head led them on rounds. Julia calmed down her emotions, entered the doctor's office, and as soon as everyone saw her, they all turned to look at her. Julia felt extremely embarrassed, smiled awkwardly, nodded, and went to her own seat. As long as she didn't take it seriously, the rumors would naturally die down. Chapter 1878. Mr. Watts. Mr. Watts. Jasper rushed into Kingsley's ward ahead of everyone else. Kingsley was lying on the hospital bed, watching TV, and he saw them coming. Come here, give Mr. Watts a hug. Kingsley dropped the remote control and reached out to hug Jasper and the others. Hey, Mr. Watts, are you feeling better? Timothy smiled and walked over, leaning against the foot of the bed. Hey, Mr. Watts, have we arrived too late? You seem well enough to be discharged. Zachary teased Kingsley. Oliver chuckled. Looks like everything is fine now. With all the banter, Kingsley couldn't help but laugh and patted the spot on the bed. Come on, give Mr. Watts a hug. Jesse chuckled as he watched Kingsley itching to hug them. Jesse, come here, give Mr. Watts a kiss, and he'll be all better. Kingsley teased Jesse. Benjamin bent down to put Jesse down and walked towards Sean. What are you looking at? Sean looked up at Benjamin. I'm checking if anyone in the same ward as Kingsley has been hospitalized. After Felix Luistro and the others were taken away, there was no news. They probably sealed off the information. One of the ladies in the same ward as Kingsley, she died. Died? Sean was shocked. She was robbed and killed. Benjamin had investigated the matter. After the woman separated from Kingsley, she went to buy things with the money and was followed by someone. When she arrived at a deserted place, she was robbed of her money and bag, resisted, and was stabbed to death. Upon hearing this, Kingsley was stunned. It couldn't be the woman who went out with me, could it? The others followed Felix to the private mansion area, but he called that woman away. Yeah, Benjamin checked the clues and found it to be purely coincidental. He could only say that the woman was unlucky. Oh my God, Kingsley was shocked. He never expected a living person's life to be taken away just like that. The other people should be under the supervision of Quentin Jordan, after all. Benjamin saw the medical staff at the door and didn't say anything further. The head of the department led the doctors and nurses below to make another round of inspections. Seeing Benjamin and Sean, the head of the department greeted them. Mr. Graham, Deputy Bailey. Benjamin nodded slightly and did not respond much. You guys go to the other wards, there's no need to worry about this one. Sean greeted them. Yes, Mr. Watts, rest well. The head of the department greeted Kingsley before leading the team out. Miss is really a doctor. Jesse saw Julia and happily exclaimed. Which miss? Kingsley curiously asked Jesse. The one with the tied hair, the one who came up with us. Jesse pointed to Kingsley, who saw Julia and smiled. Oh, her. Suddenly, Jasper and the others all turned to look at her. Benjamin also glanced at her. Benjamin, it's that girl with Sean. Kingsley gestured to Benjamin. Benjamin raised an eyebrow and glanced over at Julia. She was quite a quiet girl. Sean, your girlfriend is working. Kingsley teased Sean. Sean rolled his eyes at Kingsley. Don't talk nonsense. Sean glared at him and then looked towards the door. Just then, Julia met his gaze and quickly looked away. Julia avoided him and followed the department head to the next ward. Sean was taken aback. Was he that scary? Jasper and the others chatted around Kingsley, making a lively atmosphere. Benjamin received a call from Marissa and told her, we're at Kingsley's place, we'll be there soon. Oh, did Mom call us? Zachary looked at Benjamin. Benjamin nodded. Chapter 1879. Uncle Kingsley, we're going to Mommy's side now, you take your medicine and rest well. Jesse earnestly reminded Kingsley. The adults couldn't help but chuckle. When you're not around, Uncle doesn't want to take his medicine anymore. Kingsley teased Jesse. If you don't want to get better and play with us, feel free to do so. Zachary smirked mischievously. Kingsley glanced at Benjamin. Doesn't Jasper's expression look a lot like yours? Benjamin looked at his son, feeling proud. His son didn't look like him at all. Uncle, you really need to rest well. Don't be stubborn. When you're discharged, we'll treat you to lots of delicious food. Oliver smiled and assured him. Okay, I'll remember that. Kingsley chuckled in response. Uncle, dinner will be sent over later. Eat well, take a shower, get some rest, and it will be tomorrow before you know it. We'll come visit you again tomorrow. Timothy gently patted his blanket. Tim, come give Uncle a kiss. Since he couldn't be hugged, a kiss should be fine. Timothy walked over, tiptoed, and Kingsley bent down to meet him. Tim kissed his cheek, his eyes sparkling. Is that okay? Kingsley was more than satisfied, his eyes crinkling with a smile. It's perfect. What about you guys? Kingsley looked at the others. Tim kissed you, representing us. Gavin looked coolly at him and didn't go over. Oliver adjusted his glasses and smiled. Mr. Watts, do you have face wash? You little kiddo, when have I not washed my face? Sean even fought with me, a patient, for the restroom this morning. Sean smirked. I think you didn't wash. Timothy covered his mouth, realizing he had just kissed Kingsley's greasy face. Benjamin patted Timothy's head and called the kids. Let's go. Oh, are you going so soon? Kingsley hesitated to part with the kids. I'll go with you guys. He lifted the blanket, ready to get out of bed. You rest well. Benjamin glanced at Kingsley and led the kids out. Goodbye, Mr. Watts, don't miss us too much, Jesse waved to him. Goodbye, Mr. Watts. Goodbye, Mr. Watts. The five of them waved goodbye as well. Sean smiled, stood up, and followed them. Sean, are you going too? Kingsley felt disappointed. The ward suddenly became quiet, quite unsettling. Sean smiled, didn't say anything, and followed Benjamin and the others to the door. Mr. Bailey, are you also going to Grandpa's place with us? Oliver tilted his head and looked at Sean. Sean ruffled his hair. No, I'll just see you guys off here. Oliver stuck out his tongue, waved his hand, and quickly ran to catch up with Benjamin. Goodbye. Jasper and the others said goodbye all the way, attracting many people with their cute and handsome appearance, making it hard for them to look away. Just then, they ran into Julia coming out of the ward, and Jasper's eyes lit up. Miss, goodbye, goodbye. Julia smiled warmly and kindly. No one could resist the energetic and adorable little baby. So full of vitality, especially infectious. Julia watched them walk away, then returned to the office and saw Sean standing at the door. She felt a little awkward. Deputy Bailey. She nodded and quickly walked over. Sean's gaze fell on her, clearly sensing that Julia's attitude towards him was different. It wasn't so restrained yesterday. Noticing the nurses whispering and giggling on the side, sometimes looking at Julia, sometimes whispering to each other. Seems like they're gossiping about something. Sean narrowed his eyes. He walked over to those nurses. Chapter 1880. Hey, did you see that? Julia greeted Deputy Bailey, but he didn't respond. Yeah, she's shameless, trying to seduce Deputy Bailey. Absolutely shameless. She even deliberately took the same elevator as Mr. Graham when coming to work. Is she trying to play both sides? Since when did the hospital turn into a gossip scene? Sean's handsome face turned cold as he stared at the nurses who were getting more and more excited with their gossip. Seeing Sean, the nurses were startled, their faces turning pale. Deputy Bailey, you all go and resign from your positions with the department head. Sean's gaze was stern. Rumors and gossip, it seemed, knew no bounds. They were all so distracted from their work, focusing on these useless things. The nurses' faces turned ashen, wanting to plead for mercy, but they couldn't even meet Sean's sharp gaze. Although Sean was usually approachable, he could be quite intimidating when angry. Turning around, Sean returned to Kingsley's ward, giving him a fierce glare. Kingsley, what's going on here? You come in and glare at me. Did I offend you in any way? Kingsley was speechless. He hadn't done anything wrong. With a stern face, Sean sat down on the side, blaming this guy for spreading rumors and nonsense. Surely, it wasn't just those few nurses in the department talking about this. Could an intern doctor withstand such rumors and gossip? Seeing Julia, the nurses exchanged glances and hurriedly went to find her. Dr. Castro, we're sorry, we won't dare to do it again. Can you please help us plead with Deputy Bailey not to fire us? Yes, we promise to work diligently in the future and not repeat this mistake. Julia was a bit confused. What happened? Why does Deputy Bailey want to fire you? Julia wasn't stupid, so she agreed to help them, but first she needed to understand what had happened. If they had made a serious mistake, she had no right to interfere with Deputy Bailey's decision. And even if she pleaded with him, would Deputy Bailey change his mind? Several of them exchanged glances and explained in a low voice. "We were just gossiping about you and Deputy Bailey. He found out. Dr. Castro, we're sorry, we won't gossip about you anymore. We only heard it from Yummy. Dr. Castro, we know we were wrong. My family relies on my salary alone. If I get fired, we won't know how to raise money. Dr. Castro, please help us. I really need this job. If my husband finds out I lost my job, he'll definitely divorce me." In fact, they didn't have any grudges against Julia. It's just that Yummy had connections, and since she had been in the department for a long time, they were closer to her. Yummy seemed to harbor some inexplicable hostility towards Julia, the new intern, so they didn't dare to get too close to her. Julia understood. Seeing their pale faces, their anxious expressions, and their eyes turning red, she couldn't help but feel a twinge of sympathy. Don't gossip behind people's backs. If you work seriously, you won't have these kinds of issues. Yes, we know we were wrong. As long as you help us this time, we will definitely help you with anything you need in the future. I'll go talk to Deputy Bailey later. I can't guarantee he won't insist on firing you. Julia promised to help them this time. Although they didn't make any mistakes at work, spreading gossip was not a moral thing to do. Thank you, Dr. Castro. The few of them were very grateful. Julia met their eyes and then walked towards Kingsley's ward. She gathered her courage and knocked on the door. "Come in." Kingsley was annoyed. She was inexplicably glared at. "Deputy Bailey, I need to talk to you about something." Julia walked in, nodded at Kingsley, and then turned to Sean. Her hands on either side of her body were clenched nervously. Kingsley blinked, wondering what was going on.